What's going on, my friend? It's Jeff Newport from ChasingStrength.com. And in today's video, we are discussing what I think, maybe you'll agree, maybe you'll disagree, the number one best reason for using the kettlebell swing is for men and maybe some ladies watching this channel over a certain age. Let's just call it 40, but certainly you can be a little younger and certainly you can be much older. All right, so let's dive in. Okay, now, lots and lots of reasons for using the kettlebell swing. People have been talking about it for 20 some years. I've talked about it myself. All right. Now, again, even though the kettlebell swing is far from my favorite kettlebell exercise, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't just stop, pause, and extol its virtues every once in a while, because we talk a lot on this channel about other kettlebell exercises, especially the double kettlebell clean and press, push press, even some jerks, the snatch, front squat, that sort of thing. But in order to get there, you really need to spend some time with the good old-fashioned kettlebell swing. And apart from the stories that we have collected over the last 20, 25 years from guys and gals rehabbing body parts, right, like lower backs, knees, etc., and stories of folks stripping off body fat, right? If you're watching this channel, you may have used swings to strip off body fat, which is awesome. We also have some stories, anecdotal evidence, which, by the way, is evidence. Okay, let's just call it evidence. Okay. All right, I was just about to go on a soapbox there, but I'm not going to. All right, we have stories of guys who have rebuilt their cardiorespiratory systems after coronary events. All right, these are all fantastic reasons for using the kettlebell swing, and certainly great reasons for using the kettlebell swing as an entry point. Okay, but for me, the number one best reason to use the kettlebell swing is this: it restores your lost athleticism. Now, let's look at why. Here are at least three reasons. Number one, a properly executed swing trains, strengthens, and even builds some muscle on the posterior chain. We'll throw a picture up here of the posterior chain. Okay, so what's the posterior chain? Well, it's the muscle groups, or group if you prefer, a kinetic chain or movement chain, right? Responsible, but not solely responsible for walking, jogging, running, rucking, sprinting, and lifting stuff from the ground, like throwing your opponent in a grappling sport. Okay. It's typically the muscles that run from the base of your skull down the back of your body to the tips of your toes. All right. Again, we'll throw a picture up here for you so you can see. All right. Now, many guys still think that they need to run to get back in shape. And running is fine. I really have no problem with it if you can do it. In fact, shockingly enough, I used to be a runner. Okay, it's a long time ago. Now, the problem with this is after driving a desk for 20 plus years, your joints and muscles can't take the kind of beating that they get from running, because the front side of your body is chronically short and tight, and the back side of your body is overly lengthened, okay, and what's called neurologically inhibited. In other words, the muscles on the backside of your body don't work the way they're designed to, if at all. And this is why there's such a high injury rate in running, especially for guys our age who take up running to get back in shape after doing nothing for 20 years, okay? Court and field sports are no different, right? So pick up basketball, flag football, that sort of thing. And that's because when you walk, your body absorbs about 1.2 times its body weight when your foot hits the ground. This is called vertical ground reaction force. Now, when you run, your body absorbs twice that, about 2.5 times body weight when your foot hits the ground. And about 50% of people who run, well, they're going to experience, according to the research, right, according to the scientific literature, some sort of lower limb injury. Now, a properly performed kettlebell swing, it circumvents all this. Your feet stay on the ground, but you're still driving, right, force your feet into the ground, generating similar ground reaction forces. Therefore, okay, you're conditioning your tissues and joints for the ability to run sometime in the future, if you want, simply by performing kettlebell swings. And that is why, or one of the reasons why, we often hear about guys who could suddenly, right, run from a steady diet of kettlebell swings without ever doing any running. Now, look, am I saying that you should use kettlebell swings as a bridge to running? No, not at all. That's not what I'm saying, so don't hear that. But on the other hand, it probably wouldn't hurt, okay? It's not going to hurt you, right? I'm just providing anecdotal evidence of what can be done, not necessarily what should be done, okay? Now, here's what else. Point number two. Swings help train your midsection, right? Your core musculature. That's been a buzzword. The core has been a buzzword for the last 25, 30 years in the fitness and strength and conditioning industries. And in case you don't know what the core is, Okay, your core is the group of muscles that stabilize, we call that the inner unit, and transfer force, right? We call that the outer unit around your body so you can run, jump, throw, and do whatever it is that you want to do. A strong functional core is critical for increasing and displaying your athleticism. Now, properly performed two-hand swings train your abdominals, your inner core and your outer core, also known as your inner unit and your outer unit, okay? And one-hand swings specifically train the 4 major sling systems involved in gait. So that's walking, running, sprinting specifically, okay? So we'll throw a picture up here of those 4 major sling systems. If you want to know what muscles are involved in them, okay, and how they correlate to the one-hand swing, you can press pause or you can look it up. Dr. Google, okay? Now, point number 3, swings train you to produce more power, right, and more power endurance. Now, power is a measure of work, and it's the application of strength. The more powerful athlete, not the stronger one, the more powerful, more explosive athlete can run faster, jump higher, hit harder, and throw further. An example of power displayed is the vertical jump or 100-meter sprint or Mike Tyson in his prime, right? By contrast, maximum strength is displayed by the slow application of force, as in a 1 repetition maximum deadlift, okay? Sports, athleticism are displays of power, but there's a little bit more to it than that. True athleticism and true sports, in almost every case, are actually repeated displays of power, especially court sports and field sports, all right? So basketball, tennis, field hockey, football, those types of things. Soccer, football, F-U-T-B-O-L, for my non-American friends and my Latin American friends and my Spanish friends. Okay, I don't know what it is in Italian. So if you're Italian, I don't know what soccer is or football is in Italian. Sorry for that. Anyway, this is called power endurance. It's the ability to repeatedly display power without succumbing to fatigue. Again, examples: rugby, soccer/football, right? American football, basketball, so on and so forth. And coincidentally, this power endurance is the primary quality that we need in life. Power and power endurance are also the 2 major qualities that we lose as we age if you don't train them. So if you feel like you've lost your athleticism, you may just want to go back and spend a season or 2 doing the good old-fashioned bunch of swings workouts, all right? Now, if you need a simple series of swing-based power endurance programs to improve your athleticism, well, then I'll leave a link to some of my favorite ones in the description below this video. And finally, if you're one of those people who finds that swings actually aggravate your lower back, well, it's probably because that deep core musculature that we talked about earlier in this video is malfunctioning. So if you need some help with that, I'll leave another link in the description below this video for a program that will help you fix it. Until next time, my friend, stay strong.